Please remember, you don't have to understand, you just have to believe. Or is it, you don't have to believe, you just have to understand? I can never remember. Idaho Street Workshop and stopGOstop.com are proud to present Thunderstruck, or How I Stopped Listening and Learned to Love the End of the World. We begin tonight with the focus of the program, a 13-minute, 43-second recording of a thunderstorm from June 14th, 2022. It will be played 3 times in this presentation. Listen closely. Can you feel the thunder? The sound of the drums? The beating in my heart? The thunder of guns that tore me apart? Let's start at the beginning. The recorder is a Tascam DR7 Mark II, perched on the windowsill of my kitchen, facing north. The window is open about 3 inches. The tornado siren stopped about 2 minutes ago. I cursed myself for not starting the recording earlier. But I was listening. I was trying to decide how to record it. I have 2 recorders and a handful of microphones. And frankly, I was spending most of the time tracking the storm, trying to decide if I needed to huddle in the most interior hallway, if a tornado was headed my way. So I chose the easiest recorder, my daily carry, the DR7. Over 10 years old, so still working, lighter than my newer one. And if coffee spills in my bag and it shorts out, I won't be too torn up. Half the time I go to use it and the reusable batteries need charge. Most of the time it just stays in my bag, something that I carry to help define my personhood. That Monday in Evanston, Illinois, for 13 minutes and 43 seconds, it recorded. Fleeing first the eastern and then the western United States, I returned to the Midwest, to Chicagoland. I had been absent for 15 years, 4 months, 16 days. The rolling thunder reminds me of storms of my youth in central Illinois and eastern Missouri. The warm front, coming off the plains, gathering moisture from the south and collecting it with a cold front from the north, buckling the skies. My apartment, the windows, I can hardly see the sky. I live in a courtyard apartment building. The kitchen window lets out into a breezeway between buildings and the living room to the center of the U-shaped complex. I can see the darkness, just past the elm tree. I can hear the wind picking up, the thunder. Can you hear it? Rolling, 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 rolling. No end in sight. The differences between positive and negative ions in the sky and the ground seem to be affecting my brain chemistry. The rolling. I get up, turn off the recorder. I need to phone a friend. Need to make sure she isn't feeling the same effects. Hoping to calm her fears will calm my own. We chat about what we have learned about the storm from various web stream broadcast television stations. The storm passes. We plan to see each other soon. I was caught in the middle. My mind raced. Sounds of drums, beating of my heart. The thunder of guns tore me apart. Put it on the poll. Do you feel more scared of your memories of thunderstorms or actual thunderstorms? Put it on the poll. Do you hear babies crying and dogs barking when you feel existential dread? Put it on the poll. Do you think about who assembled your audio recording device when you press record? Put it on the poll. Do you associate Harry Potter with all lightning strikes? So I may have misled you. I stated at the beginning that the recording of the thunderstorm would be played 3 times, and saying that may have implied that they would be back to back and comprise the majority of this audio program. But at this point, I find it helpful to change the tenor of the water to Lake Michigan, just about 20 miles south of Evanston and 10 miles south of the Chicago Loop. The water is 62 degrees Fahrenheit or 16.6 degrees Celsius. The air temperature, well, I didn't note it in my journal, and I can't find a good and reliable source. The internet is full of sites that have what the forecasted temperature was that day, but few on the actual temperature. I would say it was between 75 and 82 degrees Fahrenheit, or 23.8 repeating to 27.7 repeating Celsius. She is an open water swimmer. I am a shade sitter. She is out there in the lake, and I am chasing shadows. What are the environmental consequences of this microphone, of the recorder I am speaking into now? Where do the silicon, lead, phosphorus, barium, sulfur, gold, aluminum, lithium, silver, nickel, zinc, copper, tungsten, and cobalt come from? What countries are they mined in? Who mines them? How much do they get paid? Are their lives shortened because of this work? While I am trying to listen deep and record the natural world before it disappears, am I, through the purchase of multiple computers and recording devices, causing damage, causing pain, causing fish to die, causing plants to die, causing mountains to die? Broke all the rules, played all the fools. We should all be shaking at the knees. For this recording, the one we're listening to now, I sat on the edge of the lake. The large rocks had been placed there to stave off erosion. Rocks mined and moved by trucks, boats, cranes to preserve the natural and usable shore. The lakes whose temperature is 62 that day, whose temperature is trending warmer, whose water is trending dirtier, whose water, part of the Great Lakes, holds around 20% of the fresh water on Earth, whose shore is filled with beer bottles, fast food wrappers, and an old soiled sock, none of which can be represented in this recording, no matter the fidelity. Back to the storm. Officially classified as a supercell storm with over 84 mile-an-hour gusts of wind. That's 135.185 kilometers per hour. It tore tree limbs down all across the city, tore a few roofs off. Over 40,000 homes without air conditioning for the Tuesday and Wednesday, where temperatures rose between 93 and 97 degrees Fahrenheit. That's god-awful hot in Celsius. People alone, old, sweating, waiting for power, without any power to make a change that was in one way or another a result of this recorder, of the power and influence that has helped me build my meager life here in Chicagoland, a state whose name was derived from an indigenous tribe. So war, suffering, bad faith throughout the colonization of this land. It may not have been done by my relatives. They were still all in Europe. But it did make an attractive place to move in the 1880s. I tried to look up what happened the days around June 14th in Ukraine to make a claim that the sound I'm playing now might sound like bombs, like hellfire coming from the sky. A friend of mine said that being in the storm sounded like war, but I feel that might be a stretch. What I know of war comes from CNN, MSNBC, and ABC News, not firsthand, hardly secondhand. I've heard large fireworks, I've heard gunshots, but I haven't felt the fear or trauma from explosions or shots slung toward me. The thunder of the guns is only a line from a song, not something I've experienced. I should be glad, but my mind still goes towards Ukraine, to Syria, to Sudan, to Myanmar, to Afghanistan, to the streets and hallways of these United States. Guns, violence, conflict, death, territorial disputes, and protest movements mixed with a disconnect with the modern form of capital and governance. At this point in the podcast, I was going to tell you that climate change is just going to ruin my middle-class lifestyle, that the earth will go on, that the super rich will continue to have mega yachts, and the sun will come out. You can bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow, 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 that tomorrow. I just feel caught. My mind is racing. There is no help. Thunder. Put it on the poll. Do you feel more scared of your memories what you thought your life would be, or your actual life? Put it on the poll. Do you think the Thunder is a good name for a professional basketball team? Put it on the poll. In a thunderstorm, do you cry in a closet or in a bathtub? You have been listening to Thunderstruck, or How I Stopped Listening and Learned to Love the End of the World. Episode 164 of the stopGOstop podcast, and a special bonus episode of the Idaho Street Workshop. The workshop, I'm currently scripting Series 2 of that. It's a space opera, of sorts. Also, I just wanted to let you know, the weather this week looks wonderful. I think I will be able to bike most of the days. Until next time, from Evanston to your ears, my name is John Wenzel. Thank you for listening.